In this video, we're going to look at AMC Entertainment Inc. has had a very volatile few days. You can see here average volume was about 25 million and it skyrocketed on May 13th up to about 522 million and then over 600 million on Tuesday. That includes some after hours trading. And yeah, just really huge volume spikes, gapped up more than 100% from this close, but that was the high of the day where it opened. Yeah, about 130%. That was the high where it opened, and then it just continued to sell off all day, dropped about 42% from that high point to where it closed, but still up 32% on the day. And so this all started on Friday. We were actually still in a downtrend on May 10th. And then on May 12th, Roaring Kitty, Keith Gill, the guy who was the face of the initial, back in 2021, this huge short squeeze that happened in AMC, basically an orchestrated short squeeze where, groups of traders just kept buying, trying to force this thing up and force the short traders out. And huge rally from this low point up about 3,000%, up more than 3,000%. But after that, it just declined precipitously to well below the low point where that whole rally began. So that was at about $10, $11 where that started, and it hit close to $240, $250 recently before this big spike up. In that tweet, there was no mention of anything, but you could see it was of interest to people because that was the first post in about 3 years. And basically saying, this person sitting forward in their chair saying, take notice. People took that as, well, possibly the trade is back on and we're going to pile into it. This is not a good company, as you can see by the prior downtrend. It has been losing money and no anticipation that that will end anytime soon. So by all means, traders getting into this, there is money to be made on the long or short side on these huge moves that are happening. It's also possible that as a short-term trader, you could lose a ton of money if you get stuck on the wrong side of this. There's also multiple halts each day that leaves you susceptible to the price is going to open at a different price than where it was before the halt, which leaves you susceptible to price gaps intraday. And then if you're holding overnight, you could also have these huge price gaps, and you don't know which way it's going to go because tomorrow it could gap down, tomorrow it could gap up. So a very risky thing. Any long-term type traders, I would definitely say to avoid this one just because of the quality of the company is just not there. And any day traders or swing traders, if you're going to trade it, be very cautious. Let's look at the fundamentals. We can see here just via Yahoo Finance that they have been losing money, a lot of money back in 2020. And while this looks promising, like they're losing less and less, this has actually happened before where it looked like they were going to turn a corner and then they ended up having some big losses the year after. And so this isn't expected to change if we look at analyst estimates for what the company will do. Where is it? Their earnings estimates for current year 2024. I saw one website had it at minus $1.60. This one at a minus $1.52. That's per share. So still expected to lose a lot of money this year, and yeah, the following year as well. Not expected to be profitable. So this, for an unprofitable company, this is basically an infinite price earnings ratio. And of course, if the company was to become profitable in the future, that would change. But this is a extremely high price for this stock based on what it is producing recently. So quite an interesting story there. But again, for the short-term buying can last. We don't know how long it's going to last, how many people are willing to kind of speculate and bet that a whole bunch of other people are going to jump in, but this is just pure hype and speculation at the moment. There's always demand for quality companies. If you want to sell your shares, someone else is probably going to buy them at, you know, the big staple profitable companies of the world. Yes, they fluctuate, of course, but they're not going to have these ridiculously huge moves. So this just all based on hype, and I think once that, if this kind of passes over, we're going right back to where we were before. So definitely a speculative play. As I said, if you're a long-term investor, I would avoid it. And if you're a short-term trader, be very careful out there because of the intraday halts and the potential for overnight price gaps.